Cowboys draft 2023, forget the best player available, go for players who will make an impact, and the complex decisions about who to pick in the draft. The idea of need can be redefined. Hello Cowboys, if you want to stay on top of all the team's news, enjoy and subscribe to the channel to receive the latest news from the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have already started making moves to shape the 2023 roster, franchise tagging Tony Pollard and planning to put a second-round tender on RFA Terrence Steele. Soon they will be restructuring or even redoing contracts to free up the needed cap space for the season, and the official free agency period is just about a week from starting. But the biggest event each year for the Cowboys is the NFL Draft, coming at the end of April, that has, for years, been the predominant path for adding talent to the roster. The flood of prospect evaluations and mock drafts is already inundating us. That also means that we will be talking a lot about the best player available and needed. One common way of synthesizing the two is to say best player available at a position of need. For example, the Cowboys could face a situation where the best player left on their board is a quarterback, but they are not going to spend a high draft pick on that position with Dak Prescott, so they will look elsewhere. Ochoa recently took a look at how some of the national mocks have Dallas taking a tight end in the first round, and how that would have very little impact on the team's performance this season. That struck me as a very intelligent and insightful way to look at things. Drafting an impact player may be a much better criteria for judging draft picks. There are a few things that should be included in this idea. First, while the team does a good job of sticking to their board for the most part, the difference between players is not as great as we may think. This is where need comes into play. You don't want to just automatically take the best remaining player if, as is the case with tight ends, they are very unlikely to have an immediate impact on the field this season. While the front office pays a lot of attention to future value, arguably too much in a league that is very much all about winning now, it makes a ton of sense to pick someone a little further down the board that will have a good chance of playing a lot of snaps. Further complicating that is the apples to oranges issue. It is hard to say if a defensive end is really that much better than an offensive guard. The positions are just so different. And you fans, what do you think of the Dallas Cowboys news? Tell me in the comments.